So, let's go ahead and look at the gun belt. This is my gun belt. This is just the belt portion. I went ahead and took off all the components of it so you can see it. It's got a nice shiny buckle here. Very well put together, in my opinion. Very soft leather. I don't know how they did it. Like I said, don't knock me for how they make these things. I don't know 100%. But I just want to let you know that they did a great job with the leather here. Very foldable, comfortable, very soft to the touch. It's not stiff like a lot of gun belts that you're going to run into. It's got loops for 45 Colt rounds or 45 rounds, depending on if you're going to shoot Wild Bunch or something like that. But I specifically requested to have 45 Colt belt loops. 45 Colt bullet loops. Okay, going on down, you can actually see the maker's mark right here. It's made by El Paso Saddlery over in El Paso, Texas. All the way down. I have had this gun belt since 2013. I try to wear it. I wear it to every cowboy action match that I go to. And I'll tell you what, I have nothing, absolutely nothing bad to say about the belt itself, period. The belt is amazing. You know, it's had a little bit of use. It's not torn up or anything. It's very soft. It's very comfortable. It fits my waist. As always, you know, you should try and measure yourself before you order it, because that's what I did, was I ordered this belt. I didn't actually go there and buy it. But El Paso Saddlery makes pretty good belts. It was a little bit on the expensive side just because of the material that was used and also the fact of the way it was designed. This is part of what they call their shootist rig, supposedly designed after John Wayne's movie The Shootist. So if you want to see that, see it in action other than at a cowboy action match, you can go ahead and watch The Shootist. That's what this is proclaimed to be a part of. Don't quote me on that. But if it looks like it, then let me know in the comments section. But yes, it is a very good gun belt. I love it. I've had it since 2013. I don't want to get rid of it, period. It will probably always be the gun belt that I use just because I like its comfortability. It folds to my body. It doesn't feel stiff at all. Even when it was brand new, it wasn't stiff. I didn't do anything to this gun belt, just to let you know. So I just want to let you guys know that if you are going to order this particular type of gun belt from El Paso Saddlery, you can pretty much expect a good quality belt that is comfortable. It's probably going to be a little bit pricey compared to, you know, some other places. But if you want a genuine gun belt that has probably been made since the 1800s, or at least a company that has the reputation of making gun belts since the 1800s, you're looking at maybe going to El Paso Saddlery. I like them. A lot of places that sell holsters and gun belts usually order them from El Paso Saddlery and then usually resell them from their store. Texas Jacks in Texas here does that with El Paso Saddlery holsters and belts, but usually they also put their little maker's mark on it too, mainly with their holsters than anything else. But this is the belt. Once again, this is called the Shootist rig. I will show you the holsters that came with this rig here in just a second, so stay tuned. Please let me know what you thought of that gun belt. I'd like to know your comments on it if you could. Jim says, hello from Brighton, Michigan. Good to see you. Thank you for joining, Jim. Also like to say hello to Lance, Fernando, Thomas, Jim, and Ahmed. All right. This is another piece of equipment that you're probably going to have on your gun belt if you so choose. I used to have one. I don't have one anymore, but one of the things that you're going to need is some way to carry your shotgun rounds when you do Western shooting sports competition. You can do it on what's called a shotgun shell slide, or you can actually have a shotgun belt. I used to have a shotgun belt, and then I actually got rid of it because that plus wearing the gun belt got a little constricting. I wasn't quite able to bend as well, in my opinion, so I just went to a slide because I wanted everything on my belt, and I could just take it all off all at the same time, and only had one major piece of leather. But this is a 12 gauge slide from Cimarron Firearms Company down in Fredericksburg, Texas. I actually have not yet used this. I used to use a previous slide that was in 20 gauge that I found out that was actually not allowed. But I used it because not many people caught what wasn't allowed, and maybe I'll show that to you one of these days, but today isn't that day. So we'll go ahead and just go ahead and say that this is my slide. This is what I use. And I'm especially going to be using this since I got that shotgun, that hammered double. Because I was, surprise, actually using a 20 gauge before, internal hammer shotgun. I used ever since I got in. But I'm just going to be using the hammered double, I think, for now until it gets annoying or until I find something better, which, I just want to try it out first, So yes, you are going to need some way to carry your shotgun shells. One of them is a slide. That is a option. And, I like this one because it goes with the color of my rig. So it'll fit just nicely. I like to be color correct. Not that really, that's just my character. A lot of people in Western shooting sports kind of pick a character that fits their personality. Me, I like to have everything color coordinated. I like to look very put together and very uniform, if you will. So, shotgun shell slide. This is mine. Fredericksburg, Texas. Go ahead and take a look at them. You can Google them. They got a lot of good equipment out there. Which brings me to my next thing, which is going to be my holsters. This is once again part of the El Paso Saddlery rig. This is the holster that they come in. This is the holsters that come with the gun belt. It's got the one Mexican loop on it. It's not, as you would say, not as period correct. Specifically when you're talking about the early era Western expansion. The lip up here would have been a little bit more extended, and I'll show you what I mean. Something like this would have been more period correct, as the lip goes a little bit higher to protect the gun from the elements. But this one is completely and utterly perfect for what we do in cowboy action shooting. It allows me to get the gun out fast, relatively fast, without much of a hassle. These are my two strong-sided holsters. One of them actually has a hammer cover. The other one does not. It ended up coming like that, but that's just the way it is. The other one does have a hammer loop that you could tie something around, but I'm choosing not to do that. So these are the two strong sides that I have, and when I say strong side, that means one gun on each side, and you usually access it with the right or the left hand, and the handles are facing to the rear, both of them on you. So one on each hip, handles facing to the rear, hammers facing forward. So that's usually typical of a strong-sided holster. One on the left, one on the right. And what's kind of cool about these is you can actually get these specifically designed for the guns that you are going to wear. I got these designed specifically for Ruger New Vaqueros. So they will fit Ruger New Vaqueros in 5.5 inches. you know, or shorter. Anything longer than that is going to extend beyond the bottom of the holster. One of them's longer than the other, actually, and that's because I originally had a Blackhawk that was in, you know, a Blackhawk that was in 5.5 inches, so it will fit a Blackhawk firearm. But yes, when I was shooting both double strong side, when I was shooting two strong-sided holsters, these are the two holsters I would use. I'm right-handed, so now all I use is this one. And instead of using the strong side, I use a cross draw. So, mind you, this came with the gun belt. So, gun belt and the holster that came with it. This is the extra holster that I ordered that still matches the color. It's a little bit darker, but it is a cross draw. You can make that as an option. That's one of the things I like about the gun belts, is you can kind of change them up a bit to fit your personality or your shooting style. And I shoot duelist anyway, so I would prefer to have instead of an extra strong side, I would rather have a cross draw. So this is a right-handed cross draw right there. So, you know, that's how I like to position my guns. And I got this one. This isn't an El Paso Saddlery holster. This is actually a Texas Jack made by Cimarron, or at least made in the Texas Jack store. I don't know exactly where they do their leather work. They may do it right in the store or not, but this is the holster that I bought from them. It fits a Colt Single Action Army 5.5 inch. That's what this holster is designed for. So, you know, pretty much anything that is styled after the Colt Single Action Army, a clone or an original will fit this holster. You know, if it's a little longer, then it's just going to stick out the bottom, but the frame will still fit just fine. And then I also like to put leg tie downs on here because specifically with this one, it hasn't been worked enough to where I can just pull the gun out without worrying about the holster coming up with the gun. I actually have to secure it somehow to my leg so I can just pull the gun out without ripping the holster up towards me. So it's a nice looking holster. It's got the 2 Mexican loops here. So I like it. It does its job. I've had it for a couple years, and that's what I use now.